accused of killing 2 young women in a deadly hit and run on Morrison Drive granted bond today. This as we are learning new details about the accident and what steps are being taken to prevent another tragedy.
News 2's Raymond Owens was inside the courtroom this morning. He joins us live and will break down what came out of that hearing. Plus, Sophia Radaba joining us live. She's hearing from City of Charleston officials about the changes that will be implemented on the streets of Charleston.
Plus, we are breaking down exactly what charges both suspects are facing in connection to that deadly hit and run. We hear from a criminal defense attorney coming up.
Good afternoon, everyone, and thank you for joining us. I'm Carolyn Murray.
It's great to have you with us. I'm Erin Morgan. We do begin with developing news. A second man arrested in the deadly hit and run of 2 young women in downtown Charleston was given a $600,000 bond today in court. News 2's
Raymond Owens was inside that courtroom all morning and joins us now live with more information. And Raymond, tell us what happened in that courtroom. What are the latest developments?
Well, Carolyn, a bond was set once again for the second suspect in this case this morning. The actual bond hearing itself began at 10:40, but it was a fairly quick bond hearing once it did get started. 32-year-old Seth Allen Gilbert William Carlson is charged with 2 counts of reckless vehicular homicide and 2 counts of leaving the scene of an accident resulting in death. Investigators in court said they believe he hit 20-year-olds Lizzie Zito and Ariana Gamber as they were walking on Morrison Drive at about 1:15 in the morning, April the 28th. According to the affidavit, about 10 minutes after that crash, a witness saw a truck driving erratically on Cosgrove Avenue by the North Bridge before it then ended up running into a ditch. Now, the witness said the driver of the truck smelled of alcohol and was sweating. The driver ran off after that crash, and the witness picked Carlson out of a photo lineup as the driver. In court, Carlson's lawyer said Carlson is the worship leader at Ashley Ridge Church. Now, the pastor of the church was in court offering support for Carlson and his wife. I talked to Frank Zito, Lizzie Zito's father, after court. He said this whole process is overwhelming.
It's good to know that there is a witness that he was intoxicated. He's a church-going member. To me, means nothing, because his pastor must have taught them 9 commandments instead of the thou shalt not kill. And what hurts the most is last week we find out this happened. 5 days later, find out that somebody else has struck the girls is beyond measure.
And again, the judge today told the families that he could not set bond in this case based on state law. He ended up setting a $150,000 bond on each of the 4 charges for a total of $600,000 in bond. Last week, 25-year-old Max David Gentleman was given a $300,000 bond. That was $150,000 each for 2 counts of leaving the scene of an accident causing death. Now, he is believed to have hit the women about 30 minutes after the initial accident took place. Live in North Charleston, I'm Raymond Owens. Count on 2.
And as Raymond said, Seth Carlson was the second person arrested in connection to the deadly hit and run. He's facing more charges than 25-year-old Max Gentillon, the first suspect arrested last week. Last Tuesday on April 30th, Charleston police charged 25-year-old Gentillon with 2 counts of leaving the scene of an accident causing death. Police say Gentillon struck Lizzie Zito and Ariana Gamber around 1:43 in the morning on April 28th when he ran off the right side of the road on Morrison Drive and then up onto the curb. Now, this is about 30 minutes after police say the girls were struck by Carlson's pickup truck at 1:12 in the morning. Like Gentillon, Carlson is facing 2 counts of leaving the scene of an accident causing death, but Carlson was also charged with 2 counts of reckless vehicular homicide. And today we spoke to an attorney about the difference between these 2 charges.
Anytime someone is injured, let alone killed, there's a responsibility to stop. That's very different than if somebody recklessly caused the death. So I'm certainly, if somebody hit someone else, was driving recklessly and killed that person, that would be reckless homicide. And the fact that they didn't stick around or didn't stay after the crash would be the hit and run or the fleeing the scene that involved death. So 2 different ideas.
And in South Carolina, the charge of leaving the scene of an accident causing death comes with a sentence between 1 to 25 years on each charge. Reckless vehicular homicide has a maximum sentence of 10 years per charge.